The desert wind carried the smell of dust and gunpowder long before either man stepped into view. It was the kind of place where stories were born and buried in the same breath, a forgotten town with splintered wooden doors, cracked windows, and a silence that felt heavier than death itself. Steve McQueen arrived first. He didn't make noise when he walked, didn't need to. His presence alone shifted the air. Dressed in a worn jacket, eyes hidden behind a calm but calculating stare, he looked like a man who had already seen the end of this story and decided he'd be the one walking away. He leaned casually against a post outside the saloon, but nothing about him was relaxed. His hand hovered close enough to his gun to remind anyone watching that he didn't believe in second chances. Minutes passed like hours, and then Clint Eastwood appeared at the far end of the street. The sun framed him like a legend carved out of shadow. His slow, deliberate steps echoed through the emptiness, boots scraping against the dirt as if each one carried a warning. His face was unreadable, but his eyes, cold, steady, unforgiving, never left McQueen. A cigar rested between his lips, the faint smoke curling upward as if even the air respected his space. They stopped about 20 feet apart. No one spoke. There was no need for words between men like them. This wasn't about insults or pride. This was something deeper, two forces that had been circling each other for too long, finally colliding in a place that could barely hold them both. A piece of paper drifted between them, pushed by the wind, the only thing daring enough to move in that moment. McQueen shifted slightly, just enough to test the distance, just enough to let Eastwood know he was ready. Eastwood didn't react. He simply watched, as if waiting for the exact second the world would crack open. The tension stretched thin. Then it snapped. McQueen moved first. His hand dropped to his gun in a blur, faster than most men could even think. The shot rang out like thunder, echoing off the empty buildings. But Eastwood had already moved, just a fraction, just enough. The bullet grazed past him, tearing through his coat instead of flesh. Eastwood fired back. His shot was slower, but it didn't need speed. It had precision. McQueen twisted, the bullet ripping through his sleeve, drawing blood but not stopping him. He didn't flinch. Pain wasn't something he acknowledged, it was something he used. They circled each other now, no longer standing still, each step calculated, each movement a silent challenge. McQueen fired again, twice this time. Eastwood ducked behind a broken water trough, wood splintering as bullets tore through it. Without hesitation, he rolled out from cover and fired once more. The bullet struck the ground near McQueen's feet, kicking up dirt, forcing him to shift. Neither man had the advantage. They were too good for that. The town seemed to hold its breath as the fight stretched on. Shots echoed, boots scraped, shadows moved. It wasn't chaos, it was control. Every move had meaning, every shot had purpose. McQueen dove behind a post, reloading with quick, practiced hands. He glanced up just as Eastwood stepped into the open, calm as ever, gun steady. For a split second, everything slowed. This was it. McQueen stepped out, Eastwood fired. McQueen fired. Two shots cracked through the silence at the exact same moment. Then nothing. The wind returned, softer now, as if unsure of what it would find. McQueen stood still, his chest rising slowly, a thin line of blood tracing down from his shoulder. Across from him, Eastwood lowered his gun slightly, a similar mark on his side. Neither had landed a fatal shot. They stared at each other again, something new in their eyes, not anger, not rivalry. Respect. McQueen gave a faint, almost invisible smirk. Eastwood took the cigar from his lips, exhaling smoke into the quiet air. No words were exchanged, but an understanding passed between them. This wasn't a fight that needed an ending. Some battles weren't meant to be won, they were meant to prove something. Without turning his back, McQueen stepped away first, disappearing into the dust and sunlight. Eastwood watched him go for a moment, then turned in the opposite direction, vanishing into the shadow. The town was silent again. But the story lingered.